So, good morning, everyone. So, we are going to make this game of just normal apples falling from the roof. There will be a bowl. We have to catch the apple, and the pointer will increase. So, this is the basic idea of the game. So, let's start making that one. So, to make that one first, we have to just remove the sprite and then click on choose sprite, and then we need two sprites. First of all, we need an apple, and another one we need a bowl. Okay, but currently I'll be working on the coding part of the bowl. So what will I do is that I'll click on this hide sprite button, so we'll deal with that later. So click on the apple, and we have to make it a little bit smaller, right? So it's too large for now, so we'll make it smaller, right, by making it suppose 80% or suppose 70% smaller. Okay, it will fall from the above. Let's make it again a little bit smaller, 60%. Okay, so it will fall from the above. Now, the first logic is that we have to first understand the concept of coordinates. Okay, so you must know that the vertical is the y-axis and the horizontal is the x-axis. So when we go towards the right, the value of x increases, and when we go towards the left, the value of x decreases. As you can see, it has become minus. So we have to understand that the from where the line will start falling, right? And if you want to make the apple fall, we have to decrease the value of y. Now we'll first work on that. So we'll first go with to the events and we'll go to the when flag clicked. Okay. So when first we have to click the open when flag clicked, and then we will look for a control block which is forever. Why we need a forever block? Because we constantly want the apple to fall from the top and do it over and over again. So and before we even connect to the forever block, we have to make sure that apple falls from this certain place. So we have to first understand that how to make that one. So there's a then if you go to the motion block, there's a uh, block called go to xy. So if you go to xy, you'll see that the value. If you just take your mouse cursor and hold it, the sprite, and see that if you can just place it over here, you'll see that the coordinate in the sprite this block, you will be able to see that the coordinates of x and y. So the coordinate of x and y is over here is minus 170 and 158. So we'll just type that one minus 170 and 158. So once we have placed this one, okay, and I want to make sure that the value of y will decrease. Okay, value y will decrease. But the apple can fall from any position in this horizontal line, that if it can drop from anywhere. So we have to make it random. So what we'll do is that we will go to the operators, and then we'll click on pick random and place it over the go to x and y. Now you just can't give 110. This is not going to work. We have to first understand that from where to where this range starts from. So value of y is fixed because we have to fix it in a certain way. We just type it over here 158. It's fixed. It is fixed. This y, this x, this horizontal vertical axis is fixed. Vertical line is fixed, so it'll stay in this line. But the x-axis should change. X-axis should change, right? So if you just take this apple over here and just see that what is the value minus 217. So we'll write to minus 217, and again take this one to the very end, and again record it. So what it says that 221. So 221. Now if I try to just press this flag repeated times, you'll see that the position changes. See, still a coding error is happening. So, okay, what is the error? The error is that, okay, we didn't record that one. So, 226 or 227, that was like 126. Just, okay, now let's test it out. It's happening. Okay, value of x is changing. To keep it a little bit over here, let's see that it's 217 and here 219, 219. So we have to first make sure that it works, right? Okay, this position is changing. So it's changing, okay. So it's working, but we have to make sure that it stays on the line. So the line is 150, so let's change it a little bit, 150. So visible. Now, yes, now it's working correctly. Now it's working correctly. So our position, so whenever we start the game, the position from where it falls, it will be uncertain. But what will be certain is that the y-axis will be certain that it's at 158. Okay. So now next step is that what we're going to do is that we are going to place the forever block below it, and we have to make it fall down. To make it fall down, we have to reduce the value of y gradually, right? So what we have to do is that we have to go to the motion block, and there's a set called change y by 10. Change y by 10. Now when it's falling down, the value of x is reducing. So as you can see, it has become minus. So reducing, so we'll make it minus 10. Now let's see how it works. Okay, it works. See, I'm doing manually. Okay, because if I don't click on manually, so it's going to go to the infinity. Now we are not able to find it. See, so our logic is that once it touches the ground, it's not actually ground, it's the edge. It should again right be back at the top, right? So we will need a if block. So bring a if block. Now we'll record this one. Record this one that I will go to sensing, and there's an option called touching. So when it touches the edge, it should again go back to the top, right? So what should we do? We'll just segregate, separate it, duplicate this one, and place it over here. See, the apple falls from any located position, right? So it is not predictable. See, it works. Now, now our part of bowl, coding the bowl, comes up. So what we will do is that we'll go to the bowl and just turn it on, this one. And then we'll go to the events block and bring the flag clicked. So just like a game, we should be able to control the left and right direction. Okay. So to do it, we have to go to the control block and we'll go to forever. Why forever? Forever because because the ball um, needs to be controlled, constantly be controlled. So whatever code we are going to write, we're going to add in the sprite. We have to make sure that it repeats over and over and over again, right? So we need if then block, if and if. So then we'll go to sensing, and then we will go to this one when key is pressed. So they're already given right arrow and left arrow. Okay, now one thing we should make sure that it should be at the center. Since it should be at the center, whenever the game begins, so record the coordinates. It's at 8, x8 and y minus 156. So we have to make sure that we'll go to and place it over here. See, it is already recorded because this is the way Scratch works, but don't just change it again and again. Okay. Now, next step is that whenever we are going towards the right, the value of y, see, no, the value of y should be same. I'll just do it one more time. Okay. So the value of y stays same because it's a vertical axis, but whenever we are going towards the right, the value of x increases. Whenever going towards the left, value of x decreases, right? So what should we do? We should just bring the move 10 steps and move 10 steps. So whenever going towards the right, the value of x should increase by 10 steps, and when we are going towards the left, the value of x should decrease by 10 steps. Now let's test it. Okay. So yes, we can control using the keyboard, right? Now the process. So we need to add whenever this apple touches this bowl, it should again go back to the original position. So what we'll do is that we'll just repeat this one, duplicate this one, and then it's an option called bowl will appear. Okay. Now let's do this one. Okay. Okay. Hmm. Now our score pointer logic comes up. So to bring a score pointer, we will go to variables and create a new variable. So we'll click make a variable and we'll make this one name this one as score. Okay. And then what happens when the score increases? When this apple touches the bowl, the value of the score should increase one by one. So we'll just bring this change and place it over here. When if touching bowl, then change the score plus one and go to the again the random position. So let's see. Yes, it's working. Now see a game is not game if we don't get penalty for it, right? So penalty is what? That whenever the number of times the apple falls on the edge, we will see that how many times it falls. If you miss it by 5 times, then the game is over. So we should be able to make that. So make a variable called edge. We'll make it count edge. Okay, and we'll bring this one as set count edge. Okay. Now one thing. So we'll change the count edge by one when it touches the edge. All right. Now let's see if it's the score count is happening or not. We'll not touch it. Okay, the count edge is happening. Now the logic is that whenever the count edge value is more than the score, or we can just say that uh, two logics we can give that if we miss the apple 5 times, then the game is over, and or we can also this give this logic is that if this count edge value is more than the score, then the game is also over. So um, we should click on the backdrop and just we need to make our own backdrop now. So we'll click on this one. Not this one. We'll make a custom backdrop. So first and foremost, the background should be changed, right? So background we should be giving from the very beginning. So I'll make it a forest. Okay. I think forest is good. On outdoors, there will be more good backdrops. Okay. This blue sky is good. It's a classic one. To the top, and just rename this one as game over. Okay. So we'll have to type something over here. So we'll write game over. Press space bar. Try again. So we'll do that. What we'll just select this one. When then we'll it I put in a pixel like this retro like game and okay, so we'll just focus on blue sky. Let's test the game one more time. Yes, everything's working. Now we'll apply the logic. So we'll go to the Apple code and then Then we'll go to if then. We'll check it the beginning. Uh, just put it over here and here, the beginning, and then we'll just use a operator where we'll check that we will be using two logics. So we'll use or, so this or that. So we will be, bringing two blocks, this one I or that one. All right, now we'll go to the variables and make sure that if count age is more than, now the logic was that if the counter age is more than, 5, and so the game should over at when the counter age more than 5, or when the counter age value is more than the score, then what should we do? The game should end, right? So the game should end like this, that you know um, the backdrop should change. The backdrop should change. We'll go to the looks block and we'll go to the backdrop and make it switch to backdrop game over, which we have made just few minutes ago. And then we will stop the sprite, stop all the sprites. So there's a event control. Let's see that. Okay, stop all. This will stop all the animations which is there. Now let's test it out. Okay, so counter is more than 6. Now since the game has been over, what should we do? We must reset the score and the counter edge to 0. So whenever the game starts, we'll set the count edge to 0 and set the count, this one, this score to 0. Now, and it should begin from the original backdrop. So switch to backdrop and then we'll make it blue sky. Let's test it out again. Okay, okay. Now let's check the counter edge. Yes, game over. Let's retry it again. Counter edge, no, the logic is wrong. Since the counter is more than 1, so we haven't scored anything. So the logic is wrong. So what should we do? So we should be able to think like this, that you know uh, let's scrap this part. It doesn't require. So we don't need this one. So scrap it up. Take the or block out of this condition and put it over here. Now let's try it again. Okay. We must hide the count age because it is not useful for this part. So we'll go to variables and we'll bring the hide variable block over here. We'll hide count age. Let's try it one more time. Okay. So this was the game of catching the apples falling from the top. You know, you should try this. Let me know in the comments that if you have faced any kind of trouble.